All right, we got a trade recap for Friday, March 20th. Caught a win here taking shorts on NQ. So we'll go over the bias, what I was looking for. And I actually did live record it. So I will put that into the video, the live trade, after we go over the bias, because I only recorded the live trade. I didn't record any live analysis coming into the morning. So my bias coming into the morning was bearish until proven otherwise. We would have to run through this 1 hour gap. So in my opinion, as long as we were holding this 1 hour gap, I was good to take shorts lower if it was A plus. And the reason is because this low was kind of like a high resistance low because it had already swept liquidity pre-market. So price did already sweep the internal low before rebalancing, so I would be careful targeting there, and would have to have A plus displacement once the market opens to target it. And the highest probability would probably be continuing past to this sell side here. So this was the bias coming into the morning. Bearish until proven otherwise, until we run through this 1 hour gap, then we can target higher. And the market opened, and literally the first 5-minute candle, you can see the executions here, so I'm going to take them off real quick. Bang. So yeah, I'm just going to zoom in fully. The first 5-minute candle of market open was right here. Boom. That's essentially what the original trade was taken off of. Because we just displaced lower as soon as the market opened. This can be your sell model, right? This kind of confirms the move lower, in my opinion. Yes, I wanted to be cautious targeting this low. This displacement was just really, really nice. Bang, bang, bang. Once the 5-minute candle closed, I then placed a limit order right here for about a 1-to-1 with a safe stop loss above these candle bodies. So basically just banking on the drawn liquidity more than anything, because at this point in time the only gap was all the way up here, and I didn't know if that was going to get tapped or not. It ended up getting tapped anyways, but played it safe. Big stop loss, basically a 1-to-1 to this 1 hour low here. And then we ended up opening up a 5-minute gap, and so we came up into that 5-minute. We then rejected lower, moved my stop loss to above this internal high, and we rejected lower. So that's the analysis coming into the morning. I'm going to go ahead and put in the live recording right now. All right, placing a limit order after this huge displacement off market open.
Order filled.
Can potentially add if we get a strong candle close below this internal low. Can potentially add. If the draw is right, this 5-minute should hold, so we'll see what happens. Alright, if we close this candle very strong like this, then I can enter another contract and move stops to above that high.
Order filled.
I'm break even. If price wants lower, it should flush through this internal low. If it wants lower, it should flush this internal low. Yeah, I don't like how we stalled out here.
Order filled.
I'm taking it off there. I'm literally not gonna get edged. The only reason I'm doing this is because of the higher time frames and the fact that this is kind of a high resistance low because we'd already swept liquidity, and because I took a retarded loss yesterday. So I could regret taking it early here with this candle if it just takes the liquidity, but I just do not want to get edged here. And we would have taken it anyways. So yeah, the only thing to regret really about this trade is took profits a little bit early here, just in fear of getting edged and edging this drawn liquidity because of the overall higher time frame market conditions, right? We're still in this chop here. Just going to the daily, like we're still in this chop here. We're kind of working our way out of it. Still in this chop. And then also the fact that we already swept this liquidity pre-market. This is kind of a high resistance low. And then also on top of the fact that I took a stupid loss yesterday because I didn't go break even. So just all those factors combined, wanted to make sure I protected the P&L on the week. So slightly green on the week for me. But yeah, those are all the reasons why I took profits slightly early. It would have been like a $720 win if I had held it all the way down. But once we came up, started to retrace and wicked out this low right here, I just didn't want to play any games and took profits right here. You can say like that's a little bit emotional, and it probably is. So definitely not something I want to be making a habit out of. But really I didn't do that because I took the loss yesterday. I did that because of the higher time frames and because this is a high resistance low. And it wouldn't have surprised me at all if we had just edged it and continued and just chopped for the rest of the day or got break even. Really, it wouldn't have surprised me if we edged it, got break even, kind of messed around, and then took it later on later on in the session. So yeah, definitely not something I want to start doing a lot and make a habit out of. But I did take profits slightly early here. So yeah, man, that's the trade recap. That's the live trade execution as well. Unfortunately, I kind of botched the short form recording, so I'm gonna see if I can edit and whip up a short form version of the live trade that you just saw. So we'll see, but overall, not the best week. Like I said, slightly green on the week, so can't complain there really. It's just, as long as I'm protecting capital in these conditions, it's not the end of the world, right? I keep saying this. If you're able to pull money from this chop and this kind of market, you're going to rinse when we start to actually trend, right? So right now it's just kind of capital preservation. So slightly green on the week, can't complain too much other than the fact that, yesterday, I feel like the only reason I took that loss was because I broke my rules, right? And those rules are set to protect me. Because had I protected myself yesterday and gotten break even, that's a full win today, and I'm up significantly on the week, right? So that's the difference between that it makes all the world in the difference, right? And I've tried to limit those mistakes as much as possible. Sometimes, they're just going to happen. It's a part of trading. It's going to happen. You're going to make mistakes. So just trying to limit those as much as possible. But yeah, I thought this was pretty clean, and this was a good trade to end the week on a Friday. So let me know if you took this, if you're able to catch a short this morning. And other than that, I will see y'all next week. I appreciate you watching. Peace.